Hiya folks, welcome to another video. This week I've been playing with my SPRAT WINKLE, which sounds far more interesting than it actually is. No, SPRAT WINKLE are of course couplings. You get this little brass paddle with a hook on it, and essentially you mount it to the base of your rowing stock, and it allows you to have a less clunky, shall we say, coupling system than the stock couplings you get with most rowing stock these days. And it also gives you the added ability to have so it's a hands-free coupling. You see there, I'm just putting some weight on the back of the paddle, and that actually helps with uncoupling later on with the magnets, which you'll see when that comes about. Fiddly is the word. Fiddly as buggery. But actually it's quite satisfying. I burnt my hand there, by the way, because I've just been soldering brass, and I thought it'd be a smart idea to try and grab it, so there I am flailing around uselessly on my dirty floor trying to get the couplings made up as per the instructions. Now, I found that even though I followed the instructions pretty well, that when it came to actually fitting it to the wagons and rowing stock and what have you, it didn't quite work as well as I thought it would. You can see the mechanism there, and that's because it was dirty. So what I did, rather than using the mounting plate, I simply got on Google and I essentially mounted the couplings directly to the base of the wagon, and I found this gave me a lot more space, a lot more use of the hook, and things worked a lot smoother, as you can see now. One thing that's really apparent is you've got to get the coupling hooks, so I said the bars, pretty much spot on across all your rolling stock, otherwise you will have issues with coupling and decoupling. So here I am now trying to fit. I've made my homemade jig there, and essentially you put a dab of super glue on each of the buffer heads, and then struggle to put the coupling bar, which is just a length of brass wire, or nickel silver in this instance. Then you roll the wagon up to it, let the super glue take, and away you go. As I said, quite fiddly when you're holding a camera in one hand and trying to do it one hand with a set of knackered old tweezers, but you get the point. The beauty of having the jig is it ensures you get all of your coupling bars the right height, and you just roll it up like that, nice and gently, let it take. There we are. The idea, of course, being, and this is not something I ever found, is you can actually bend the hooks to suit the height of the bars as opposed to adjusting the bar. So you can see here, it just clicks in, nice and simple. But I had to adjust that bar, the hook, quite a lot before it worked. And the idea is now you get a magnet, which I'm just going to introduce underneath the wagon there in a moment. Then you get the idea of how the remote uncoupling is supposed to work. I've actually ordered the fine scale couplings which I've got here, which are actually not big enough for my layout curves. You see the space between the buffers really isn't big enough for the sort of curves that I have. If you're going to have the fine scale ones, you do need to have really large radius curves. I think it's third radius and above. So I have ordered the bigger one, for 4mm scale. But there you go. You can see how that works. Then that bit of solder that you saw me putting on the paddle before just helps the hook bend back into place. So that drops it down with a bit of wire. Just see the wire there. And now we're going to have a quick look at how that whole process works on the layout. So you see we've got the curtain hooked up to a wagon there. In a minute we're going to move it over the magnet. And you'll just see in a second there when I found the right place. Sort of takes a minute when you're not used to it. You get the magnet to pull down, and then there you go. Then take up the slack. That lets the hook drop, and then when you move away, you'll see we leave the wagon where it is. So it's pretty fun. And then when you reverse up to it, provided the wagon is still over the magnet, you get the delayed coupling reaction, so you can push the wagon out of the way and leave it wherever you stop it. So we've backed the wagon to the siding, and we can leave it, pull forward, reverse up to it again, and recouple because we're not over the magnet, and there we go. Off we go back to the magnet again to do the process one more time. So you need really generous curves, especially when propelling up into a siding from points. This one's okay, but any tighter than this and it doesn't really work. So we're going to experiment soon with the larger type ones, and I'll keep you updated when that happens. So thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you all soon.